Watching the candidates, hearing what they're saying about America's engagement in the world, the way American power and influence is going to be wielded, are you hearing what you want to be hearing?
Absolutely not. What I've been hearing is what you can expect to hear in an elongated presidential primary system when you're talking to people on each poll, both the most conservative Republicans, the most liberal Democrats, who are the people most apt to vote and nominate you. And I've encouraged my friends all around the world to ignore them.
To ignore them?
Well, they certainly aren't talking about the primary issues that we're all going to face. They certainly aren't. They're beginning now. Now that it's clear who the nominees are, they're going to beginning to focus. And the idea of saying, let's unwind the NAFTA agreement is stupid as a box of rocks. You know that the Mexicans and the Canadians would love to redo it. They're their first and second source of our foreign production of oil and gas. You think they'd like a better deal? Much better deal. And we need to stop that kind of conversation. This argument, driven in part by the labor unions, who are trying to cut their own deal here and turn the clock back 50 years, is not helping America anywhere. I travel the world, and people heads of state want to ask me quietly, are you guys serious? Are you going to withdraw from the world? And I said, of course we're not. 95% of the people we want to sell something to live somewhere else in the world. We have no choice but to stay engaged in the world.
You think the candidates are dumbing down the trade debate. What else aren't you hearing that you want to hear more of?
I want to hear more on a reality that instead of trying to get elected on the back of this administration by suggesting that everything they've done about issues of national defense and the fight against terrorism is wrong.
So if the presidential debate on foreign affairs were to be organized by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, you'd be asking them about trade, about humanitarian and development assistance,
about national security, about the fight against terrorism, about the tie between all of those things and economic development around the world, about the responsibility to deal with pandemics and societies that are in very, very serious condition, because those conditions breed the problems we're trying to deal with now.
John McCain has talked about a league of democracies to supplement, maybe even supplant the United Nations.
That's good rhetoric. I think we'll keep the United Nations, even though I can find more fault with it than you can. I think I'd rather see a league of mature and free countries than I would a league of democracies, because I'm not too sure when China is going to declare themselves as a democracy, for example.
But they need to be in that league?
Of course. I mean, if you're going to go out and do something significant on issues that John McCain is talking about, you can't very well exclude very important countries that have become more open, in part because of technology and trade, from the debate. I don't think he intended to.
Barack Obama's pledged to, and I'm quoting Obama here, grow the Foreign Service, double the Peace Corps, engage young people of other nations in similar programs.
Well, it's a wonderful idea if they have some money to spend.
You don't think they do?
They don't have much to spend now, and if we don't take a look on how we're investing our funds around the world, as we just talked about, in healthcare and food and infrastructure and education, I think we would be creating an army of people to do good work and not giving them any weapons.